Welcome to the Red Story. Subscribe if you like it because I like it. Friends, if you enjoyed what you read, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave your comments. Your reactions and opinions mean a lot to me, and I always appreciate getting feedback. Let's discuss and share our thoughts together. Xavier, 42F, is creating so much drama in my 37M life that I am having trouble coping. I'm considering giving up my kids just to get it all to stop. I don't know where to begin. I was married for 13 years. I have two small children, 4 and 6. After being divorced, I am now remarried to a wonderful woman, Delphine. My ex-wife will not stop harassing me. I have to communicate with her for the kids, but is so contentious that the court finally ordered all communication to go through an online site. I had to change my phone number and move. It was that bad. I had my kids this weekend. Things went great and I went and saw my family. No incidents. We had a great time. Then I got this email. Jules and Marie report that they were in a traffic accident with you this weekend in the truck. They both report that the loud, obscene exchange between their father and the ABC towing driver scared them. They both report that they were bitten by Pierre's dog, Marius, during their visit at your folks' house this weekend. This is the second dog they have both reported biting them. I had also posted their reports that they have been bitten by a large dog named Bridget at your in-laws' house. They have traumatic memories of metal being scraped out of your leg. I hope that you recover and get back to your job quickly. I hope that Delphine is okay. They report that you have trouble walking. This is consistent with behavior I observed at drop-off on Sunday night. You didn't get out of your new car and it appeared very awkward for you to unbuckle their booster seat belts from the driver's seat. I need to know about these things, please. Dog bites are notoriously dirty and prone to infections. Just because our children didn't appear to be as seriously injured as you were in the truck accident doesn't mean that they couldn't be stiff and sore and possibly have internal injuries for which I need to be observing. At least I need to understand why they were stiff and sore and acting more fearful than usual when they came home. Their mild to moderate bruising and scrapes, and the chunks of skin missing from their hands and fingers, are consistent with their reports of the accident and the dog bites. I will take Jules and Marie to the pediatrician walk-in clinic to rule out any unseen injuries and infections. It would be nice if you would call or email the doctor's office and tell them what you can about the accident and the dog bites. It could help rule out tests and treatments that might not be necessary. It would also be nice if you would pay your half of their medical expenses, especially because the accident and the dog bites happened when they were with you. Today is Marie's first day of school. I could have taken them to the doctor 2 days ago if you could share that they were bitten and in a traffic accident that was bad enough to require a tow truck for the truck and medical care for you. If you wanted to drive the kids to Marseille and back in a weekend, expose them to animals that aren't safe for children, and fight with tow truck drivers in front of them, I cannot prevent that. But what happens to their little growing bodies and the events that are being imprinted on their sweet, innocent minds is very much my business. Please share all of the information regarding what happened to our children in the truck accident. Please share all of the information regarding the bites from the dogs. As a mother, it is very worrisome to hear my preschooler and my first grader recount the dangerous things that are happening to them. But it is even more worrisome that my co-parent withholds vital information about their health. Jules and Marie deserve to know that their parents are working together to take care of them. Thank you. I don't even know where to begin. The dog that was there had no teeth, didn't bite them, and couldn't have even if it wanted to. My in-law's dog is dead. I was never in an accident. There was no tow truck. All of this is false. I can't even find a shred of a real event that could have gotten twisted. This comes on the heels of 4 days ago, her trying to corner me into signing away 30% of my custody agreement and refusing to let me even look at the details of the paperwork. I am so frazzled by all of this that at times I think about signing away my parental rights just to not have the stress. But I don't want my children thinking I don't care for them and abandon them. How do you reason with this level of crazy? Any advice is welcome. I need help managing this. Relevant comments. Maybe you should do what she says, email the doctor's office and tell them there was no car accident or dog bite. Comment. If you're willing to tell random armchair psychologists on Reddit you're considering signing away your children, chances are good she has picked up on that and is indeed doing whatever she can to make that happen. Get to an attorney as soon as humanly possible. Fight for your children. One day and they will know what you did or what you didn't do. Update, 8 years later. I was looking in my profile and saw my post in this subreddit from 7 years ago when my ex was causing so much chaos that I was doubting everything. I took everything to heart and implemented several things right away. I became a gray rock and started documenting everything. I consulted my lawyers and they advised several steps, the first of which was a 730 evaluation. This is an evaluation done by a psychologist. That process took a really long time as the 730 evaluator got very sick halfway through. That took 10 months. At the end, the report essentially read that the mother is volatile and disorganized, and that the father's home would be a more stable home for the children. However, there is hope that the mother is starting to improve, so if things are still bad in 1 year, it would be appropriate to change custody to the father. This was a tough pill to swallow. Things were not better, and the chaos was just intermittent, so we just kept documenting and doing our thing. Eventually, we started getting a lot of emails from teachers that Marie, in particular, was often not bathed, never had her homework done, didn't have school supplies, and was falling way behind in her studies. We applied for a trial to review custody and asked for primary custody to be swapped to us. That was at the end of 2019, and the trial was set for May 2020. So as you can imagine, once COVID-19 hit, everything got delayed. There were a lot of events in 2020. COVID-19 shutdown. Delphine and I had a child, Sophie, and then my ex started denying visitation to Jules and Marie. Every 2 weeks I would go down, wait in front of the house, and no kids would emerge. Sometimes I would have the police come, not to force anything, but to get the documentation in terms of a case number. This went on for 4 months before I was able to start getting visitation again. Eventually, the trial was set for summer of 2021 and went for 3 days. I had over 500 pages of documentation. Day 1 was entirely testimony from the co-parenting therapist we had been seeing for 5 years. She testified that my ex was the most difficult client she had ever worked with in her career, that my ex never followed a single agreement in session, and that she was a pathological liar. The last day of testimony was my ex, where she was caught lying on the stand and was presented with evidence that she had been secretly taking the children to a medical professional for 2 years, which I had explicitly not agreed to. So starting in August 2021, the judge ordered the kids to come live with me, with primary custody and limiting my ex to 4 days a month. It's now been 3 years. When Marie was in 5th grade, she had a 26% in math and a 40% in English. For the last 3 years, she has maintained a 4.0 GPA every single year and will be starting high school in honors geometry, honors English, and AP biology. Jules has also been doing well and just finished his first year of middle school with a 4.0 GPA and is loving his coding and robotics elective. They have new clothes and have learned new skills and responsibilities. Delphine has been crucial in setting up patterns to help with success in school. Their rooms are both immaculate, and they are the ones doing it with very little direction from us. They are happy and finally involved in activities and sports. Our little Sophie adores them both, and I often find all 3 of them cuddled up together as one of the older 2 reads a book to her. Marie made the decision recently to stop going on visits to her mom. The chaos and drama started being directed at her, along with lack of food, clothes that fit, etc. Jules is still going for visits, and we are encouraging that as long as he feels safe there. All in all, things are going so well, and the kids are doing incredibly. There are hard moments still, but it has all been worth it, and we are able to shield them for the most part from any chaos their mom may want to start. If anyone is reading this who initially sent advice, thank you. When you were in the thick of it, it is tough to not feel like it's impossible, and you will never be able to overcome it. I needed the outside perspective. Relevant comments. I'm sorry that it took so long to get everything resolved, and I'm sure it was. Heartbreaking knowing your children were in the custody of someone who was not taking care of them while you had to wait for the wheels of justice to slowly move. I'm so glad you persevered and did not give up. Comment. From a teacher, it's so amazing to see what stability can do for children. Thank you for fighting hard for your kids. You've given them such a great foundation for their futures. I hope this helps.